A question I get asked all the time: if someone has hired me for an event to do their leadership conference or whatever, they might have another group that's going to be coming in later on or down the street or something like that, and they'll say, hey, can you also speak to this group? And my general answer to that is, well, tell me a little bit about it. I don't just immediately say, sure, I can speak to any group, because that's not really true. I mean, if you want a motivational message, want me to make them laugh and just pump them up and, make them happy, well, I can probably speak to just about any group. But if you want me to actually hit a topic that is suitable for that group and what they do, then maybe I can and maybe I can't speak on that. And that's pretty much what a speaker's answer ought to be. Again, I covered this in another video. You don't want a speaker's answer to be like, absolutely, I can do everything. I can just speak to any group in the world. Well, that just is somebody that wants your money. They want you to hire them no matter what. They want that booking. And for me, if you ask me to speak to a group of lumberjacks who want me to talk on the consistency and hardness versus softness of the kind of wood that they're cutting, and I know nothing about that. So I'm going to just right up front, I'm going to tell you, you know what? I'm not the best speaker for that particular event. I'll come in, I'll do your keynote and what you hire me for, but for that other thing, I'm not going to be able to. I wouldn't be the best choice for that. I don't know that you'd be happy with that, because a speaker ought to want you to walk away just glowing and shining that they did above and beyond what you ever even thought possible for that speaker to do. And so I'll just recommend you to a friend of mine or something like that. But if you have a group that I do fit, like if I'm speaking to a group of teenagers on leadership, and then, hey, can you also speak to our group of staff development planners or student activities coordinators? Can you also speak to our staff that put this event together, our event coordinators? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I can speak to that group. And they might say, what topics do you speak on? Well, any speaker that's been doing it a long time, they've probably been asked this several times, and anybody who's not a dummy, if you're asked something over and over and over, you pretty soon you'll put together something and do research enough and put together a program to accommodate that need, because there's a need for it out there because people are asking for it. So I've been doing this a long time, and I've kept my ears open, and so I'm able to speak to lots of different groups and lots of different topics, because I do so many different events. And so at a leadership event or even at a student event at a school or something, sometimes people are like, can you speak to our student council about being leadership? Yeah, you did the drug prevention program for our school, our whole student body, but can you speak to our student council about leadership? Yeah, absolutely. At your club meeting in the afternoon? Yeah, no problem. Hey, can you also speak to our drama students about winning the UIL improv competition? Absolutely. That's what I do. I do improv, as a way to get out of your comfort zone and be more confident. Yeah, I can do that, and I'm perfectly willing to do that. And can you also speak to our staff about better connecting with students? Yeah, absolutely. I will do that. So when you ask a speaker, hey, can you also speak to this group? Make sure that they are a good fit for that, and then you just shut up and listen to them talk and make sure that they know what they're talking about pertaining to that group. They could be the best student speaker in the world, but they may not be the best staff speaker in the world. It's a completely different audience, and they might want the job though. Does it pay an extra $500? Oh yeah, I can speak to that, no problem. But can they? So listen to them. If they've been doing it a long time, then yeah, I'm sure that they can. But listen to them, and if they're able to just rattle off a whole bunch of stuff, and you can tell right away, yeah, they've spoken to that group before. You don't ever want the answer to be like, well, I've never spoken to that group before, but I'll give it a shot. You want a very experienced speaker to handle your events and all your groups.